Well, hey, good morning, everybody. My name's Chris, better known as DJ Cutman. I brought my helmet in case anyone gets lost. Just follow the shiny red helmet. I'm here today to talk a little bit about gaming with children and the transition that I've made as a creative music maker to a dad. And also, I have a ton of music shit I want to show off. So once I go through all my dad points, if you guys want to see my new beats, I'll be happy to play them for you. But I want to sort of open this up. Let me play this song one more time. I set the mood, put the volume down. I'll scoop the mids. See, I can't get away from the music stuff, so. Yeah, let me just give you guys the background. So I've been DJ Cutman now for 15 years, man. It's 2025. I started in 2010. And I was based in upstate New York, in Ithaca, New York, and my girlfriend up there, she had just finished doing her undergrad at Cornell University, and we were living together and just hanging out, and I was working in a recording studio, and I got the opportunity to come down to Baltimore to play with these group of guys who are starting up, kind of ramping up this event called MAGFest. And there was an event in Baltimore called Artscape, where one of the bands who ran MAGFest, Rare Candy, some of the guys who were putting the show together said, hey, can you come out and play the house music? Basically the tunes in between setups. And as an upstate New York audio engineer, kind of shut-in guy who had just started DJing, and I was basically DJing on the street outside coffee shops and bars, that's what I was doing. The idea of driving 4 hours to Baltimore was why? And we'll pay for your gas and that's it. But my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife and the mother of my kids, said, yeah, it sounds like fun, let's go. So we hopped in my 1997 Honda Civic, muffler dragging the whole way, went all the way down to Baltimore, and I played my very first show. That's where I got connected with this group of people that I've now been working with for 15 years. And I'm happy to say that it was a fun little gig. I should have dug up some pictures. I think there's a picture issue from a long time ago from our little merch booth. But it really got me into this whole music thing professionally, and playing video game music for video game fans, which I didn't really realize there were so many of us prior to getting introduced to MAGFest. It was actually MAGFest 2009 was my very first convention, and my buddy brought me to. I actually had the pleasure of seeing today, so now almost 16 years later. He brought me to MAGFest, but I was back in Alexandria at the Gaylord, and I was not in that hotel. I was not in that Hilton for 2 minutes before I was like, I found my people. I didn't know there were this many gamers that left their house. And so I knew I wanted to do something with this community, and I knew I wanted to do something with this music education I'd gotten with this audio engineering job I got right out of college. So I took my collection of video game beats and video game soundtracks, and then my collection of beats and stuff that I got from my recording studio job, and I chopped them up and made these little remixes. I called them Game Chops, which later became my record label, which is now paying for my daycare bills and everything. We got a bunch of records there at Rock Island, and look at this. Here's what they look like on our website. Our Dark Souls, our Sonic, our Stardew. We actually just got a brand new pressing of Stardew Valley. It's all over at Rock Island, so pick them up. I'm doing a signing at 2:30. Okay, plug's over. But everything was well and good for 10 years. I was touring cons, I was playing shows, I was staying out late, I was DJing, I was drinking maybe a little too much or a little too consistently throughout the day. But I'll tell you, running a merch booth is hard, and I don't know how anyone's not doing that without a steady stream of bourbon or something. That's how I kind of made it work. And but it was a fun life, and my girlfriend and then wife was very supportive, would come with me to a bunch of shows and help me kind of manage that lifestyle. But pandemic hit, and everyone was shut in. We were online, and she works from home, I work from home when I'm not touring on music and stuff. And we were just talking we should start a family because we need something that's more important than the internet. And turns out having kids is definitely more important than the internet, because when the Wi-Fi goes down, it makes it an even bigger problem. But the transition has been pretty striking for me, because I not only am I not doing shows the way I used to. The MAGFest, this is my first show back in quite some time, at least at this scale. I played a couple here and there, little local DJ gigs in Philly. But DJing was like so like the core part of my being. It's like what I wanted to be doing. I felt like it was really my purpose. But when I had my first son, Finn, and now I have another little 8-month-old Max. Finn is 2.5, Max is 8 months. My purpose really became taking care of those guys. And I came to MAGFest in 2023, and to be totally honest, I thought it was gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna have a night to myself. It's gonna be a quiet hotel room. I can do whatever I want. And I couldn't sleep away from my family. I like just wasn't, my brain and my body were like, no, there should be a diaper to change. Like, where's the baby? I can't hear them, you know, like, so it was really pretty intense. I had like this whole shift. And now everybody's no longer an infant, which is really nice, but, and so I'm here at MAGFest, and we were gonna bring Finn and Max, a 2.5-year-old Hurricane Finn, we call him, who is very wild and would absolutely love this place, and then little Max, who is very mellow and is down for whatever. I thought they would have been really good, but we were thinking, you know, we're in the guests block. Max is waking up twice a night to feed. If Finn wakes up, he like wants to party no matter what time it is. It's like, this would probably not be good for anybody. Can we fit 2 pack-and-plays in the hotel room and stuff like that? It was a lot to manage, so Mom decided to keep the kids home and let Dad go have his fun, and I really appreciate that. But I can't tell you how much I really wish they were here, and I wish I could introduce them to you because just as I showed off my vinyl records previously, my real kids are like my purpose now. And while my time is more limited because I got the kids to take care of, when I'm in front of my music software, when I get time to work, there is a laser focus I've never experienced in my life. I have ADD. It is managed with medication. I have been through the ringer figuring out what works for me since I was 12 years old. But I gotta tell you, nothing has worked as well as both kids napping at the same time. The focus is unprecedented. Entire house needs cleaning? Yes, absolutely. Every single email needs to be marked as read? You got it. Like, I got the monitor up on the phone stand. I got the door slightly open. I can hear them both. I'm like, it's time. It's the only time I got. So that's been really awesome, and it's removed a lot of doubt from my creative process, having these kids, because there's no time for doubt. And 5 years ago, when I had all the time in the world, no schedule, no nothing, I could go back and forth on something for months. I could be like, oh, I want to do this, or maybe I don't know if that's right. And now it's like you gotta set it and forget it. You gotta really kind of figure out what is. It's really helped me kind of figure out what's important in my life and given me a focus. Like, if I'm making some new beats, which I have some new beats to show you guys, how is this gonna like get done and be good? And really, this might be crazy, but I'm thinking like, are my little boys gonna like it? Like, is this gonna be cool for my family? And I gotta tell you, how many people have kids? Awesome. And how many people are thinking of having kids? It's cool. It's also really hard. I'm sure everybody in the room will tell you. It's my neighbor. Actually, I've never actually met this person, but when I had my baby, he was 3 months old, I took him out in the backyard because he wouldn't stop screaming, and I saw another neighbor, like, I'm in Philly, the houses are really packed tight, and there's a neighbor, like, over there. Our backyards, like, face each other. He was on his balcony with his baby, who wasn't crying. I was in the backyard with my baby crying, and I said, oh, boy, you got one, too. You got a fresh one. He's like, yeah, it's 8 months. It's going okay. I was like, how old is yours? I said, oh, he's 3 months old. And he said, oh, you are in it. I was like, yes, I'm in it. He goes, he's like, yeah, and I tell him, right around 3 months, things got really hard. Finn would cry for like 3 hours a day, which is like, you ever go to a dubstep show without earplugs? It's kind of like that. But he said something like, being a parent is like life's greatest challenge. There's nothing tougher and nothing more rewarding, and I like totally agree with that. Like, it has put everything in perspective for me. I never even actually had another conversation with that guy, but that one little blurb he said before he had to go inside and get his bottle out of the microwave was really stuck with me. There's like, it's the great challenge of life, being a parent. And that's really stuck with me, and it's really made me feel good because at some points it's just so hard. It's like when I first had Finn, the description I would give people what it's like being a parent, because I had kids, and a lot of my friends don't have kids yet, or are now planning their families or starting to have kids. Everyone was like, man, what is it like me and music and like having a kid now? And I said, well, it's kind of like day 4 of MAGFest all year long. It's like, I'm so excited to be here, but I'm so tired. And it's like, I've just been like wasting away in this one environment, like the living room, the bedroom. And thank goodness, like, we had more food options than we do here. I scoured the entire Gaylord to find half and half, and I just couldn't do it. So this is a combination of oat milk and non-dairy creamer and 2% milk, and it's the worst cup of coffee I ever had, but it's got me here. But there's some things that I kind of wish that I could have shared with parents. Can you guys give me like a sense of how old your kids are? Everybody who's got kids, yeah, you can just shout it out.
5 and 7.
Cool.
4 and 19.
4 and 19. How's that 19-year-old doing? Is it easier? Sick. That's why I'm trying to get Finn. He's 2.5. I'm hoping by 4 he can win the merch tape. Oh yeah. It's rough, right? And yeah, it's like I'm checking my every night I've gone before I go to bed, I put the webcam up on my phone to like look at the kids. And last night I got the treat of seeing Mom put Max down for his nightly feed, like right as I was going to bed at 3 in the morning. And it was really cute. We were still both lying down at the same time, even though we're like, they're in Philly, I'm here. So some of you guys have like older kids, and that's pretty cool. I would say that definitely like Finn is 2.5, and it's so hard. But when we first had him, he was 3 months old. I was like, this is the hardest thing in the world. I was told my mom used to say, like, if anyone knew what having kids was like, the human race would be over. Because it was just so tough. But now that I have a 2.5-year-old, I could do an infant all day long. I was like, we could have like 6 or 7 kids as long as they don't ever all become 2 at the same time. It's like, it's a lot. But yeah, it's been really great, and it's really focused me. There's a couple of things that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because my wife is a journalist, and she's also a scientist, has a science background, and we have a lot of back and forth about screen time and how much we should have, or how many Blueies I'm allowed to watch, how many Blueies the kids are allowed to watch. Yeah, it's a really good show. And so I've got, there's the records. Everybody buy the records. I have been digging up and doing a little bit of research on the American Academy of Pediatrics. Their guidance is saying don't give kids screens if they're under 2 years old, and then be super limited in screens like up until age 6. And it's all over the place. Problems with screens. Obesity. They can't sleep. They're mean. They use swear words. They're just straight up violence. Like, I mean, there's been some violent periods of parenthood and less time learning. And, but I was determined, because I was just like, man, I was raised in the 90s. I was planted in front of cable television for hours a day. Like, and we talk about YouTube ads being bad. Like, back on cable TV, 5 minutes of commercials, 20 seconds each. Just like bam, bam, bam. It's like, oh, I don't know what show I'm watching, but I really want Domino's, you know? It's like, that's what would stick. And so check this out. My wife taught me how to do this. I was just digging around. Oh yeah, there's more bad stuff that can happen. Here it is. Don't do it. And I was like, okay, well, why are they saying don't give their kids screen time after all these tabs? I found it. Television viewing associates delayed language development. This is the study that makes them say you shouldn't give kids under 2 screens. And I was like, okay, they must have really studied a lot to learn this. And so you scroll down, 56 kids. And only 10 girls. Yeah, 56 kids, that was the study. And one study, 56 kids, 10 girls, 46 boys, and that's it. And what did they really learn? High viewing of TV and language delay for this little subset of what would be like a third of this panel room. So that kind of gave me pause. Well, there's the study. Oh, there I go.
Oh, you're back.
Oh, hey. So I dug around a little bit more, like, okay, it's a tiny study, but also like, what's the real issue? And what I learned from this NPR article is that basically, and this screen you can kind of read it, but I'll give you guys the gist, is screen time becomes a problem when it replaces shit the kids should be doing. And basically, like, their brains are developing, yes, but their bodies are too. And so if you're planting a kid in front of a TV instead of them playing with blocks or flipping through a book, they're not developing those motor skills, they're not developing those language skills. So it got me thinking, like, how can I love video games, and I have very limited time to play with the kids, but like, how can I override this situation where it's like, basically, if you ever seen a kid out at the farmer's market and they're playing it in front of the phone, like, we're in Philly, I see a lot of people with like phone mounts on their strollers and the kids just like glazed over. And to be dead ass, like, I don't blame any parent who's got to do that, but that is the when you're swapping out the life experience for the screen. And if anyone has had to do that in this room, no judgment, but I do think that can be a problem, because instead of looking around the farmer's market and seeing all the vegetables, they're watching Coco Melon or something. Oh, also, Coco Melon is crack. Do not show that shit to kids. It turns on in like my periphery, and like my brain just like shuts down. It's just like bam, 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 bam. So how do we get screen time with video games with our kids and have it be valuable? Well, I'll tell you how. Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley not only is a banger of a game, there's tons of real world things that can be showcased through this game. And I'm talking about all the fruits and vegetables. I thought about the basic concepts of farming. My son might think if you buy a pig, you get unlimited mushrooms for the rest of your life. So we're going to have to work that out as he gets older. But the essential thing is what I learned from all these studies that you see how prepared I am for this parenting panel. I got a bunch of Chrome tabs open. Basically, if it's in one of these posts, that it's okay for screen time if the parents are co-viewing. Basically, you got to talk to the kid about what they're seeing, because until they're about 3 years old, they're not really retaining what is going on in that episode. It's in and out. You know, basically, like, we watch stuff, you put on something in the background. That's like the level the kids are taken by the visuals, hearing the voices, but they're not picking up language until they're like 3. And they're not really even following the story. They're likely going to pick up, like, Bluey. There's an episode where she's trying to get her hat to go out. This one episode, what's it called? Sticky Gecko. How many people watch Bluey in here? Yeah, Bluey's a fire show, you know? That episode, Sticky Gecko, is so real. Like, the stress of the mom trying to get the 2 kids out the door. Like, it's a 6-minute episode, but I swear to God, that is a super accurate reflection of my life. And so Finn will pick up that, like, need my hat to go out. And like, he's picking up a phrase. He doesn't get the whole storyline. But when playing a game of Stardew Valley, there's like so many places to talk about. Oh yeah, strawberries are harvested in the spring. Oh yeah, well, you can grow anything you want year round in a greenhouse. Chickens lay eggs. Eggs can be converted to mayonnaise with a mayonnaise machine. Also got to work out that one a little bit, because I'm not sure that's totally accurate. So we have a blast. He's 2.5 years old, which is about the age where kids, my friends' kids, are all trying to want to play. And what I do is I give little Finn an unpaired Bluetooth controller. I hand it to him. He always turns them upside down. Like, the PS4 controller upside down is so silly looking, and he sees how he's doing it, but he wants it with the things pointed out like a ray gun. But he's got his little controller unpaired to anything, and we're just talking through the game. And Stardew Valley is also a really tight game to play with kids, because there's a finite amount of time in every day, and there is a clear ending of the day, which is very, very helpful, because some other games that I was playing previously that don't stop it, when it ends, there's a little bit of a meltdown. But Stardew Valley, we have 17 minutes to run around the whole world. We go to the bed. We see the screen where you make the money, and here's what you sold. And every time that screen comes up, he goes, yay! And it's just like so rewarding. Like, yes, my guy, we sold 8 jars of mayonnaise today and made 4,000 gold. That's awesome. And then the screen goes black, and the rooster crows for the following day, and then we shut down the TV. And now, when we go to the grocery store, Finn can like spot every vegetable, every fruit. He knows eggplants, he knows strawberries, he knows like everything we grow on the farm. He's crazy about broccoli, which they added in the new update. And so it's adding value, and it's also giving us time to bond as parent and kid. And it's through this essential step of communicating about the game, and not just like sometimes I want to eat my dinner in less than 2 minutes, so he gets to go to the couch and we put a Bluey or two on. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and from what we read about the studies, less than an hour is not, there's my records again. Less than an hour is not gonna mess up the kids, but that's really helpful. But then when we're talking about playing games together, it's just been really great to have something that allows us to sort of have a conversation. He goes, I want to check on the mushroom cave. We go to the mushrooms. We talk about the different type of mushrooms. We go pick. He says, are the melons ready yet? And then we're playing in springtime, so they are not. So he knows that melons grow. They take a long time to grow. He knows you got to water the plants, and now he wants to water our house plants too, because we're doing it in Stardew Valley. So we're getting this real value out of the game experience, and we're getting to bond. And listen, I gotta tell you, there's no better moment in my life when Mom comes down with Finn from upstairs, do whatever, and he says, wanna play Stardew Valley? I'm like, yes, let's do it. I'm just dying for him to not really get sick and have to just sit on the couch with me for 2 hours and play. We haven't gotten that yet. But Stardew is really great, but as I'm sure many of you know, with kids, it's hard to find the time to game. So what I have been thinking a long time and playing games as much as I can, what's the best way to play for me when the kids are not around? And I have a little collection of the devices I think that are the most banger gaming devices for parents. First is the cheapest little emulation Steam, these Miu Minis. They're little emulators that look like old Game Boys. They're really cheap. They have a big-ass screen. I don't have one personally, but I got a buddy who loves it. And you just put your legally obtained game software on this SD card. You plug it in, and it uses FGPA, or I forget what the acronym is. It uses this contemporary, nice emulation system to run a bunch of games. If you have a little more bread to spend, the Analog Pocket, I've got one of these. I got roped into a pre-order, and then when it came out, I was like, holy shit, this thing's $300. What the hell was I thinking? To just play Minish Cap again. But it's got a beautiful screen and a very, very nice build, and it has both SD card and the ability to play your old cartridges, which is really cool. So I've been throwing in my old Zelda carts as a bunch of cool features. But yeah, you can throw your cartridges into this thing. And when Finn was really small, this was a critical thing for me, because he needed to fall asleep on somebody. So when he fell asleep, we had to wait 15-20 minutes for him to really get down before we moved him. And I was just tearing up old Zelda games on the Analog Pocket. So it was small enough that I could be baby right here. And I was just okay, there we go. Honorable mention to the Nintendo Switch. Who doesn't have one of these, or who needs one? Also very nice handheld. It's kind of silly, I have apple.com as the next tab, but the iPads. Well, for kids, I got a problem with the iPad kids. I don't really, to be totally honest, but yes, you could put an iPad in front of a kid and just leave him there until he's ready to go to high school. It's probably not the best idea. But the iPads are really banger gaming devices these days, because you can pair any controller to them, and so many good PC games are now ported to mobile. So I play Brotato on my iPad and Bellatra on the iPad in the morning. I played it this morning with my hotel coffee. And it's really nice because your ability to suspend any game you're playing. And then I gotta show you the real MVP. Who knows what's in this thing? It's the Steam Deck, baby. This thing is just the best thing that ever got made. It's what I wish the Switch was. It's what I hope the Switch 2 is gonna be, but it's probably not. This thing, if you haven't seen these, it's like a handheld PC. It's like a Switch, except for that it's comfortable to hold. I don't know why Nintendo couldn't figure that out. It'll play any game on Steam, and then you can also boot it up into Linux mode, and you can run other software. You can watch YouTube on it. I don't watch YouTube on it. I play Stardew Valley and other roguelikes. But it has a suspend feature, so I could literally if Finn is on the potty with mommy, which could be anywhere between 2 and 200 minutes long. We're doing potty training right now. I could pop him in a game, play for a little bit, and then he comes down, and I could boop, and it turns off. He has no idea that Dad was having fun. He thinks he's just waiting for him to come down there so he can start throwing magnetiles at me again. But yeah, these devices have allowed me to continue gaming, because I was very big into the Switch docked to the TV and my PS4 before I had kids, and sadly to report, the PlayStation is in a milk crate under my desk, which is where it's been since we moved while my wife was pregnant. So it never came out, never went back to the TV, but I've been getting my game time in with these handhelds, and it's been really great. I do not recommend playing handheld mode on the Steam Deck with your kid. This one was like, it's the OLED higher end one. Oh my God, did I spend this much money on it? Yikes. You look at the number and you're like, Christ, that could have been like a week and a half of daycare right there. Yeah, it's not good to be in the day with the high end thing in the handle, because Finn's just like smashing on the buttons, and then it's because it has a touch screen. Playing Stardew Valley with the controller is very contained. I have the controls. He wants this controller. Here, take this one, buddy. Okay, yeah, that's great. But this thing, he's dropping strawberry seeds all over the place. He's just throwing shit in the trash. Let's open the trash can. And I was like, dude, that was like $4,000 worth of minerals, man. We worked for a week for that. So yeah. But the controlled environment, and then also the having the screen a distance. Because what we're starting to see, and I'm sorry I don't have a bunch of studies up for this, is that having the screens be set not directly in front of your face can reduce eye strain. And I don't know about you guys. I'm 40 this year. But if I play a game intensely on my phone for 15 minutes and then I put my phone down, the whole fucking world is blurry. Like, it takes a while to like come back. So having it on TV, he's not smashing it, and then also we're getting to have fun together. We're getting to talk about the games. So what else did I have? Oh yeah, that was the boring stuff. Stardew Valley. Oh, and then I want to do an honorable mention to the new Pokemon trading card game on mobile. I have not spent any money on this game, but we pick this up every day. We do not do the battles. They are too slow. What is up with Pokemon making sure everything is like a molasses pace? I do not know. But every day you get 2 free card packs. I haven't spent any money on the game. And it is like a big part of our day opening up those card packs. And it's also like a huge incentive. He gets to, let's see if they got the video of how you do it. You swipe the thing, you pick a pack, you cut it open, and then it goes through the cards. And so it's a free mobile game, iOS and Android. But we've been really having a lot of fun with it because it's contained. You open up the pack. It takes a minute or two. You get to see the Pokemon. They go into your little deck. You get to do it twice every 24 hours. But the unexpected consequence of playing this little game is that he's like taken an interest in the Pokemon characters, which you might think, okay, that makes sense. You're being exposed to Pikachu. Who doesn't like Pikachu? But we're at a con. You guys might have some plushies at home. I have so many plushies. My wife tells me not to buy anymore. But there's an Eevee downstairs I got my eyes on, so I might have to come home with that. But we have these plushies, and we have physical trading cards, and we have like some game stuff around the house. And so being exposed to these characters is giving him this added value to the gaming crap that's all over our house. My childhood Pikachu, let me see if I can find that chubby 90s Pikachu plushie. I don't know if anyone, there it is. That man right there. This thing was in the 90s. It was like the first Pikachu. You could even see it's like that old model before Pikachu was like really lean and mascotty, and he was more. So I have this thing from my childhood. It was in the basement in the please sell these box that my wife made for me. Nothing's leaving that box though, I'll tell you. And I opened it up, and it's his favorite little guy now. And it's because we were playing the card game and we got a Pikachu card, and then he saw it and he liked the character, and now we have the plushie, and he'll say Pikachu, Pikachu, and it's like so awesome. But it's not just like, oh, I introduced him to a character and now he likes it. It's that we have this real shared connection about what the hell is this? Oh, it's a backpack. No, it's not. It's a plushie. There's like, let's do Pikachu, but instead of a mouse, he's just like a. Oh yeah, there he is. 1999. But it's been really great for me as a dad, and to have like this connection to my childhood things, because he sees my excitement and he replicates it, and he's like, I know he's learning like the names of the Pokemon, and they ain't words, But every time Geodude comes up and he's got those big hands out, he's like fist bump, bump, fist bump, bump. So like we're getting all this like kind of value, and he's learning not like specific life skills from the Pokemon trading card game, but he's learning that there's like this community and world inside of a game that's shared with other people. Right now it's shared with his dad, but as he gets older, this communal kind of gaming vibe, I'm hoping, is what translates. Because, I don't know, I mean, we're all here at MAGFest, we all like gaming stuff, and I think it's really important to have your community for your hobbies and your stuff like that. And prior to me going to cons in 2009, I didn't really realize there were people out there that like would come together for something like this. So it was really great, and so being able to share that with my kid has been really awesome. Also, this might be questionable, but I play this card game like constantly. If you guys haven't played Balatro, then you probably aren't in the support group for people addicted to it, like I am. But I'm really good at it, guys, I promise. It's like poker. Who knows this game? Does anyone not know this game? Yeah? Uh-oh. DJ Cutman giving out crack at his panel. So it's like poker, but like every hand, you get to like get these joker cards that change the rules. So the first hand you play in poker. And then the second hand, you're playing poker, but all the heart cards are worth 4 times more than all the other cards. And then by the end of your game, shit like this is happening, and you're like, where did the whole day go? Changing cards, changing rules, going against a big score. You're not playing against another person. And I've been thinking for ages, like, how do I make this like valuable to Finn? And what I realized, and it just took me a while, is the numbers, the colors, and the card shapes. And so now he's 2.5 years old. He knew how to count to 10, but he's not writing yet. But he can now visually represent all numbers 2 through 10. Hopefully does not think that 1 is an A, but again, we'll work that out when he goes into middle school or whatever. But we're giving him a foundation for like a game that's going to be valuable into his life, a deck of cards. And what I did is I took out a physical deck of cards, and he was like, card game. And I was like, yes, buddy, it's the card game. And so he's got a cousin who's 4 years old. He loves War, which is a game where you split the deck and then whoever has the higher card wins. It is very unlike War, unless the way you win wars is by just having bigger numbers, which I think actually, I'm not a military guy, but I think that is how it works. So it's setting a foundation for him to play games with other kids, even though it's like a rogue-like deck building crazy game. But it all boils back to that one thing, the having the dialogue, the sharing, not just putting him in front of the thing to occupy him, but going in front of the thing together and doing something that's gonna like build value and build some stuff. So I think for me, it's been really rewarding, except for when I have not had my coffee yet and he sees me playing and he wants to get on my lap and just like swipe up everything. Oh, let's do 3. And what happens is, in the morning, I'm a little slow. I say, oh, I gotta think, buddy, don't play the cards. So now what he'll do is he'll like swarm up onto my lap, slap my hand away and go, I need to think. Book, 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 book. Playing like a 7, a 2, and an ace and just like losing the run. Yeah, it's just amazing how quickly this man can lose a run too. It's just like the worst decision making. I'm like, Finn, we gotta work on this. I know you're 2.5, but I really need that abstract thinking to start kicking into your brain because these plays are not good, buddy. But this like combination of like mobile gaming, handheld devices, and then like thoughtful play sessions on games where there's a lot to talk about has been really, really awesome for me. I played a lot of games on myself when my kids were really young, and I played a lot of Slay the Spire. I don't know if you guys know that game, but also plushies. They make plushies now. It's another roguelike card game, but it's like technical, like dungeon crawling, and I realized very quickly, like, I don't want to explain this shit to my son. Like, I don't want to work this one out. I don't want to talk about what's going on here. Like, I'm gonna lose this fight. I don't know anything except for swearing when this snake appears. So like, I have been keeping that one to myself. But the games that, like, you know, I used to stream. And so games that I felt like I could stream with a family-friendly angle are the games that I play with. This is not going to be a good run for this guy. I could tell that stuff. Those are the games that I like to play with my son, and those are the ways that I like to sort of be creative and find ways to add value to him. And that's like, I don't know about you guys, but like finding a way to make it fun for the kid has been like a really nice challenge, especially for me who's got 200 hours in Stardew Valley and somehow never finished the community center. Thinking about how are we going to talk about crops? How are we going to like learn about farming? How are we going to like make this not like a min-max super aggressive run where I got like 200 mayonnaise machines going at all hours of the day, but how are we going to make this like a slow-paced thing that I can like share with the little guy? It has been a nice challenge, and also I'm very proud to say that I am one fish away from completing the community center. Yeah, that deserves an applause. We're gonna do it come summertime. We're gonna get that that little red guy in the ocean. I don't know what it is, a little snapper or something. It's all that stuff. I wouldn't have been able to do it without him either being like, community center, let's get a present. I was like, yeah, dude, we're gonna get a present. We're gonna spend a whole 17-minute session fishing, and mom's gonna look over there like, isn't this game about farming? And Finn's like, fish, mom. He'll say, when it's like a little slow fish, he'll like, that's a sleepy fish. And when it's like one of the high rank ones, he goes, that's a wild fish. And so we'll go catch our sleepy fish and our wild fish. And yeah, it's just been really great. So yeah, just like so thankful to the developer of Stardew Valley, Concerned Ape, I think his name is Eric, for making this game and continuing to update it, because it's been a real big part of our lives, and it's been like really rewarding to play this with my kids. So yeah, Slay the Spire is 66% off right now. Like, do I need to buy this game again? Yeah, so wow, I sped run through all these 3 topics: the handhelds, the games that are good to play, and the boring science stuff. I kind of want to open it up to you guys if you have any questions before I like use the rest of our time to like play beats and stuff. You know, I'm a young parent. I mean, I'm not young. Nobody is anymore. But my kids are still young. As many of you guys have older kids. And if you guys have young kids too, I feel like I'm still in the place where I have not forgotten what it was like having a little baby. I asked my stepmom, like, when we first had Finn, do you remember what it was like, you know, when Kai or Lulu, that's my my little half brother and sister, when they were a baby, and like, how did you handle it? And she was like, no memory. They're fine. They made it to high school. But like, what did you do when they were 3 months old and they were wetting their diaper and they wouldn't let you take it off? And she was like, oh yeah, that happens. So I was comforted by the fact that long-term memory kind of like seizes up like during those really hard first months of a kid. Because I remember it being really hard, but I remember one moment I was so overwhelmed. Finn was crying for like 3 hours. I learned actually that you can wear earplugs, and the baby's cries, they can't touch you. So actually, I bet, let me see. I used to carry these like super sleep earplugs on Amazon. They're blue earplugs. These every room in my house, there is a pair of one of these things. When somebody, and it doesn't really happen anymore, but when somebody starts crying, I'm not going to sleep. I'm not ignoring them, but they can just cry, and I'm okay with it. My ears are sensitive, so if Finn used to cry when he was really young, it would really affect me. My blood pressure would rise. This is sad, but I would like have to leave the room and scream into my hands and then go back into the room. Like I just get that feeling. The thing that nobody told me, nobody warned me about when I was having kids, is when your baby is crying, it's not a baby crying. It is the most important person in your life completely losing their shit in the middle of your house. It's not like, a baby crying, that's really annoying. It's like it hits on a level where it's like the most important person in my life is having the most terrible thing in the entire world happen to them. What was it? He's trying to poop. But it doesn't feel like he's trying to poop. It feels like the world is like crashing down around you. But once I got the earplugs in my ears, I could just sit and be there with him, and it really, really helped me. So even if you do have loud kids, just getting a couple of these stashed around, they're like in my coat pockets and stuff still, really saved the day for me and allowed me to be present without like getting hurt, like physically hurt in my ears. So yeah. So Anyone have any questions or like thoughts they'd like to share? I know it's not like a super packed panel, but I was really happy for all you guys to come out and spend this morning with me. I would love to hear if you guys have any stories about gaming with your kids or the way that you're approaching parenting. Anyone have anything they'd like to share? Yeah, all the way. Oh.
When my son was 2 months old, he would not sleep at night. Sometimes he would listen to me help.
Oh.
And I found this game on Steam. It's called Adventure, which has like 100 different things. It's like the most boiled down pixel art you can do with this game. And I figured out how to map the controls so I could play it with one hand. And I pulled in my mom and started house. And it was pitch dark, and the monitor turned all the way down. For like one really, and I would hold it for like an hour. And keep myself awake. I just play this game.
That's.
I only play this game in June 2 before I played it for like a month. And I was done with it forever.
Yeah.
I'm seeing all over the stuff. I'm seeing now.
Yeah, no, that was really something there.
Aren't good in my mind now. But it's just this kind of cool silly parenting game. I was taking care of my son, and he didn't know. I can just grab something in the background and this game in the background.
That's awesome. Yeah,
It's a really cool memory.
that's so great.
But it was the perfect thing for that moment in my life.
Yeah, for me, Slay the Spire on the iPad was that. I had a little iPad mount, and I would just set it up, and Finn, we would call it slug time. He would like just slug out on my chest, but like, you better not move. You had to wait until his breathing got really slow and we was in deep sleep to like transfer him. My new baby Max, like I swear you could just like toss him into the crib and he's just like down. He's so, second kid has been so chill. But yeah, I just like played a lot of Slay the Spire. I played a lot of Cult of the Lamb. You guys know that game? Very good game, really great soundtrack. It was a perfect soundtrack to the late night diaper change bottle cleaning. So that Cult of the Lamb music takes me back to the early infant days. Because Finn was so intense keeping asleep, me and my wife did shifting where I would drink an energy drink at 10 in the morning and I would stay up until 6 in the morning to just like manage Finn, who would wake up all the time. And that sounds rough, but honestly, it was like one of the most fun periods of my entire life because it was just like gaming, pacifier, gaming, pacifier, gaming, pacifier. And that's when I learned the real value of both the roguelike games you can pick up, but also the handheld gaming things where you can suspend really easily. So I could play a couple hands of so-and-so and then do the kid time and stuff like that. So that was really great. But yeah, I find that, I don't know where I would have been without like a lot of these games during that period. But yeah, you want to share? Yeah.
I'm 5-year-old, 7-year-old. I've been navigating this on my own. Like, how do you approach this thing? I love gaming. Kids are in the world now full of electronics and gaming. Like, how do you do this appropriately as a parent? And so what I learned was pick the things that they can do. Like, Rob started out, I was like, that's fantastic. I love that. I mean, I don't know what I can do this right now. I got to make that toy. I don't know what it's got.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
My daughter at 7 is now looking at things from complex process. I say, if you want X, Y, and Z, see it. And she started really to understand the complexity around it. And I try to reference it to things that are in real life nature. Like this is like you're making a recipe, you can use ingredients to make this recipe. And like it's like you can jump in, you can jump out, there's no you can sit and kind of whatever you want or you get lost into hours of the night. I mean, I bought this when it first came out, and I have like 2,000 or 3,000 hours on it.
Wow.
It's my jump and
Yeah.
But finding the right games that you can enjoy, that you can teach, you can share with your kids. Like my 7-year-old playing Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, and she's good. I played a lot of Mario Kart in my day, and this 7-year-old is beating me at 150 cc's, and I'm like, holy moly. Like, this used to be my channel. I can get my rear end kicked. But it's good to learn with them. I did agree, like early on, I said, well, springtime is not great. It's not great because you don't want to scare us. We all know. Glasses, wear my glasses because springtime is I grew up in the 90s, and no one thought about it. I played some questionable stuff when I was a child. 6 or 7 years old, I played Dude. And I'm like, how am I not going to let my kids play that? But now with the way gaming is also evolved, we have the internet. We just have to lose focus. not just use these great parental controls, we have to navigate this as parents to make sure that they are using this content, that they're protecting our kids from the content that we don't want them to see.
I'm also really concerned about that coming up. And my only thought was to basically keep, and this is what I've read on some blogs and studies, is that to just keep the kids off the apps where there's like a general search. Like they'll get the YouTube app. There's like a YouTube Kids app I haven't really experimented with, but basically keeping them on Disney, keeping them on the places where there's not like an algorithmically like engagement-based ranking of like, oh yes, well you did watch 2 episodes on Bluey, but what do you think about this horrifying government is conspiracy theory, or are UAPs real? And all it happens very quickly. So yeah, I think the pace of the content is also really important. Like I've seen a lot of parent influencers kind of speaking out against Cocomelon. Not like that it's a terrible thing. Actually, all their songs, their music production's really quite good. And I was very impressed with their songs on Spotify. I was like, these are very polished baby sharks. Like, wow. But it's the same thing that we deal with as adults, with this like the level of stimulation. And Cocomelon, I followed this one dad on Instagram, counted the number of cuts per minute in different shows, and Bluey is about every 4 seconds there's a cut, which is about the pace of a normal sitcom. But Cocomelon can be as fast as a cut every 0.8 seconds, meaning it is so visually stimulating that like real life just doesn't hold a candle to it. And that's the thing I think we need to watch out for, also with gaming, and that's one of the things I love Stardew Valley is the fixed camera angle. It's a fixed perspective. It is not visually overwhelming. And then certain games, although now that I've been talking a lot about Balatro and teaching him about the cards, this game almost was boring enough that he would not want to play it with me, which is nice, because I'm trying to get gold stake on all the decks. But now that there's this, hey buddy, can you pick all the 3s? Oh, what suit is that? It's a diamond. It's like, yes, okay. Now it's like an engaging thing. But I think, and actually, come to think of it, all these games that I recommend are games that do not have a 3D camera or do not use some sort of player-controlled, like, visual thing. They're all fixed angles. That's a Pikachu plushie. And some sort of thing where like it's not visually overstimulating, and that's like there were some other studies. I pulled up the screen time ones for this panel, but there are other studies that actually show that like this being subjected to a bunch of different images causes decision fatigue. Think of like if you have somebody has teen kids, right? If you ever watched a teen on TikTok, I like my half-sister Lulu and my half-brother Kai are 19 and 16, and they will come over to my house, and it'll be like, oh, we'll order the food and we'll wait, and you can watch the life drain out of a teen as the TikTok feed goes. They will go from, okay, well, we're just gonna wait here for 5 minutes while the food gets here, and then before you know it, it's like kind of like this, and then you talk to them, what? And it's like, because they've watched 60 videos, and the brain is taking it all in, and it's like, okay, I'm done doing stuff. So I think that's the stuff that I've been personally trying to police myself. I'm trying to be really good about social media. If you guys saw my story today, it was awkward because I don't post stories very often. But I think that's something that we can experience as adults, and then we just got to remember anything that affects us can affect our kids, even if we don't see it right away. I can go on Instagram for 10 minutes and feel like shit. It's just like, I don't know what it is about the algo, but it's like, I don't see anything that's bad, but afterwards I'm just like, I don't like my life. I'm not buying enough kelp supplements. I don't know about you guys, I get a lot of supplements. I do not do vitamins. I get a vitamin D in the winter and that's it, but yeah, dude, kelp, and there's like another like collagen something, and they're pushing it on me. They're like, we can tell that you're near a mom. Maybe you need some of this stuff. I was getting breast pump ads for a while, and I was like, this is weird. I think Mark knows that I'm not breastfeeding at this moment. But yeah, it's like we just got to be careful on, and as we police our own content, I think we should also be like extra vigilant with our kids. But also, I don't subscribe to the like, don't put them in front of a thing, because I would rather have my boys have healthy habits with screens and devices than have like a don't touch anything until you go off to college and then like fall into the deep end.
One more thing that I have to add on too is look at the content your children have. Not saying that you microtransactions are great. The kid got into something, probably got into it, and you know, $80 later, I'm like cringing. Take all the peanut butter out of all of it. Anything that the food that has to do with life.
Oh man, there's a whole business model sort of dependent on that. I'm pretty sure that's how Roblox is operating.
That's another good thing.
Oh yeah, Echoes of Wisdom. Yeah, also the fixed camera or the set camera angle and like the cute things. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's strange. Yes, I was playing that game with my son Finn a little bit, and I had to stop because I found it actually like a surprising, like technical, like the fighting, like summon the thing and move it, and it's like, I want the sword, please. I'm an old man now. Give me the sword to hit the crab, and I will be happy. But all he wanted to do was have me swim. So I had to stop playing because every time there was a body of water, it was like, go and swim. And I would get out and he'd go, jump back in. And I was like, okay. It was really cute for like 10 minutes. And then it was like, I was like, all right, buddy, let's go on the adventure. We're going to go to the town. He goes, back to the beach? Back to the beach? And I was like, buddy, we've got to save the world. There's a lot going on. But no, he just wants to sit on the beach and swim around. So also, I think my version was like having some frame rate issues. And that got to me after a while. But I don't know. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, go ahead and do my trick. Unpair a controller for them, and then be like, "Here you go. This one's yours." And I swear it's doing something up there. Yeah, see all those mushrooms we picked up, buddy? That was all you holding your PS4 controller that's got dead batteries upside down. It's definitely what's doing it. Yeah.
Arcade archives games and such. Really perfect.
What games?
Arcade archives.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're old arcade books, right? So they're not meant to be played for very long. They can 5 minutes or 5 hours. But this player for this early, you have months where you can change that game in 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been really great. I don't know how anybody does this stuff without having some nice type of gaming. Anyone else have any stories or experiences to share? Yeah?
Okay, so my daughter just turned 5, and we play like this two different Breath of the Wild games and stuff. And then last year we went, so she's seen us play those, and she actually played like the very beginning of the level, really bad at it. But
Sure.
still, like, she had fun playing the game, like learning how to like move the character around and stuff. And we needed a lot of help, but still had fun playing it. And last year we went to MAGFest, which is the camping one.
Oh, how'd that go?
It was great. They had this like ARG thing where you like go around the campground and like find different things around the campground and stuff. And she absolutely loved it so much. She loves Zelda. She's actually going to be cosplaying Zelda later today.
Oh, awesome.
So she hasn't like played too much of the actual games, but like just being exposed to us playing it, playing a little bit, and then going to things like Max Stop. It was just really fun to like share this with her.
That's so great. Yeah, it's really rewarding as a parent who games, getting to connect with your kid on a game that you really like. Stardew Valley has been huge for us, but then now also the Pokemon thing for me has been really great because I know all those little guys, and seeing like Finn click with my childhood Pikachu because he opened up the card pack on my phone has been really cool.
Do you have any plushy Pokeballs?
No.
So we have 2 plushy Pokeballs, and she's not like super into Pokemon, but she really likes all the evolutions, and her favorite is Leafeon.
Uh-huh.
So she keeps pretending to be Leafeon and gets some plushy Pokeballs, and she's like, catch me, Mom, catch me.
Oh.
Throw the Pokeballs.
That's so nice. Finn will throw anything at anything. And so we got to be careful. He has recently gotten really into trying to get the kitchen knives, and we're like, this little guy is going to be a ninja or a serial killer. We got to be careful. Just keep him away from Coco Melon. Anyone else? I saw another hand.
Yeah.
Yeah?
So, I don't have kids. I'm the youngest of four, so I do have a shitload of nieces and nephews. I wanted just to point out reading comprehension, playing JRPGs. So I played a lot of JRPGs in the early 90s, grew up with the Final Fantasy series, Chrono Trigger, et cetera, et cetera. So my nephew, one of them, was born in 1996. A couple of years later, kind of small underground Game Boy game you might have heard of, Pokemon Blue. And so I would sit and play that, and he was about 2 at the time. And as he got older, I would have picked up, Red and Blue, Gold and Silver. So right around the time that he was like 4 or 5, he really took an interest in the game that I was playing. And I would sit and he would just sit and watch me play. So I bought him a copy of Pokemon Red. He didn't really have really strong reading comprehension at the time. So I actually taught him to read with the JRPG.
Oh.
So that's something else.
Yeah, I have been playing Dave the Diver, which my son calls Fish Game, which is actually kind of a stressful game to play with a kid because all he wants to do is fight sharks. And the game has become just like this terrible like eco disaster of Dave the Diver killing every shark in the ocean. We say they go to sleep. They're not sleeping. You go to sleep, but also we take their heads back to our sushi restaurant. So we'll put that together when he's a little bit older. But there's a lot of little dialogue in that game. And what I've started to do is read it out loud and leave the prompts up for a screen. I know he's probably not pulling all the words off the screen directly into his brain, but you have a voice when you read something to a child, a slower, more deliberate cadence. And I think it's just been a way to kind of expose him to new words and new things. And then, except for the other day, man, I got into cutting some cut scene that like lasted a half an hour, and it was like the most painful gaming experience of my life because he was like, fish, sharks, and I was like, we're in this flashback about the chef, buddy. I'm like hitting the button as fast as I can. Any of you guys play Dave the Diver? Yeah, it's a fun game. It's like half the game is you like swimming in a procedurally generated ocean, catching fish, and then the other half is you like managing a sushi restaurant with the fish that you caught. So it's really fun, $20 on Steam. I'll bring it up. And I should have had this like right on our main thing. There's been a huge benefit to playing Dave the Diver, and that is Finn knows a ton of fish. And now when we go to the aquarium, he can like spot lionfish and like some of these other ones I can't remember. There's a whole big shark thing at the Camden Aquarium in New Jersey, right across the bridge from Philly. And so he has all this familiarity with these different breeds of fish. Like he knows more fish than I do, sharks and stuff like that. And good God, there's a lot of this game I have not gotten to. I'm on chapter 2 and I have like 40 hours in there because all we do is kill sharks. That's what it is. But that was another thing, the game, one of the game thing, I wonder if they have any screenshots. They have really beautiful, it's all pixel graphics, but they have really detailed, accurate drawings of all the fish. And I'm trying to get you to one. Obviously not this boss fight with the boxing gloves, but all the little fish that you come across in the game are real fish drawn to scale accurately. And then there's pixel art versions you catch, and then after you catch them, they're like these lovely kind of calligraphy-like illustrations of them at the sushi restaurant. So he's getting exposed to all these different breeds of fish through Dave the Diver, and then all these like fruits and vegetables from Stardew Valley. If he ever wants to manage a restaurant, he's going to be like so equipped. But like that's the kind of stuff that I didn't even really consider. I thought, oh cool, there's a bunch of fish here, but like he wants to just like flip through the fish book And then like the fact that he can spot the lionfish at the Camden Aquarium was just like, wow, that was like, he's really picking stuff up. And like, is it going to change his life that he can name 10 breeds of fish that his dad doesn't know? Probably not. But at this age, we're bonding, we're having fun, and I think it's adding a lot of value to my life as a dad. And then also, he's picking stuff up, and who knows how that'll turn out. So, yeah, I went through like everything. Does anybody else have anything they wanted to share? Any questions? Granted, a lot of you guys have kids older than my kids, so like I kind of want to ask you questions like, is age 3 any better than age 2? Because shit is rough right now. Damn it, everyone is saying no. I hate that, yeah. They're a 3-nager, they're just like fighting, arguing all the time. Yeah. Oh, yeah? Do they still have meltdowns? Because Finn has these, oh yeah. So they're just like bigger and louder, huh? Jeez. I still have meltdowns. Yeah, you should have seen me at MAGFest last year. I said a total temper tantrum. Damn. Yeah? No, I've heard about Octonauts. Oh, yeah? Oh, my wife would love that.
Very, like, I don't know, look at the head or, like, depressing kind of way, just like, oh, climate change is affecting this environment, let's help these animals with the problem.
Oh, that's awesome, because we've definitely just, like, rinsed those 150 Bluey episodes. Like, I'm at the point where, like, he'll be like, I want to watch Watermelon episode, and I know that's actually episode Hammer Barn, season 3, episode 1. So it's like that point. I like totally blew my sister's friends out of the water when we were over in LA for her wedding because he wanted to watch Sleepy Time, and I was like, season 2, episode 12, and my sister's friend was like, how do you know that? Is your brother autistic? And it's like, no, he's just really watched a lot of Bluey. So yeah, how are we at time? Is there a changeover? Do you know? Whoa. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, cool. Well, dang, guys. I like already had my rant about how screen time thing is based on a study of 50 kids, and that's ridiculous. I showed you all of the roguelikes that I'm playing, and then we talked about the value of video games, which was like the big thing, my handheld thing. So, yeah, I mean, did anybody come here because this is the DJ Cutman panel? Or did you all? Yeah, you did. Hi. Do you guys want to hear some new beats? Yeah. Okay, awesome. So anybody may catch my set on Thursday night? I opened for the band, but it was not in the guidebook. Sorry. Yeah? Yes. Okay, so check this out. Boom. Here we go. Everyone can relax. The music software's up. So I hit theme 100% this year. Never done that. All Sonic music. Front to back, every track, Sonic the Hedgehog for the full set. The set was supposed to be an hour. It got cut to 25 minutes. And I was like, ooh, that's pretty rough. Then after I played for 25 minutes, they had me play for another 20 minutes. That was quite a time because they have these amazing like timers now on the bottom of the stage where all the performers could see how much longer they had. But they logged me for 20 minutes because everything was behind, and I was like, I'm the DJ, we can cut my set, it's fine. And because, I was opening for the band, and the band has 1 million members, and there's just one of me, and I'm already tired because I'm up at 6:30 in the morning, and my set is at 10. So I was like, yeah, cut it back. But then I'm like playing my set, and there's a big red out of time flashing thing, and then underneath a negative counter on a big red screen, it said, please keep playing. So I had this incredible cognitive dissonance of this big red negative number getting bigger and bigger and bigger with a please keep playing underneath it. So that was almost as stressful as the DC traffic getting in here. But I played all Sonic music, and I played a combination of Sonic and Chill, which there's probably still some copies down at Rock Island. Where's the GameChops.shop? Our website also, I have the cutest domain name in the world. I just think it's GameChops.shop is very cute. But yes, there's these records at Rock Island. You could buy them, and there's no tax or shipping on them, which is cool, except for that I'm paying for that when you guys all leave because we couldn't do it with the Square. But anyway, I bought a bunch of records. Some of them are sold out online, but we still have some copies here. I'm doing a signing at 2:30 if you want me to write on them. Happy to do that. I'll also be in the full suit at 2:30 if you want to get a picture of Cutman in the suit. So 2:30 at Rock Island. But back to the music, Played a lot of Sonic and Chill, which came out a year ago. It's by Funk Fiction out of California. He's amazing, like synth guy, lots of hardware synths on this album, so like this textured loungy stuff. Here's what the track I was playing when we first came in is by him. So this is all like hardware synths and like he uses Logic, but it's like a very cool vibe. And then he gets a little bit more upbeat later in the album. So you got like some sax and guitar on it and stuff, so it's really cool. It's a really great album, and we have the records downstairs. But the thing that I filled out this set was all this deep house music by this French producer, Pete Frogs. And what has been so cool about playing Pete's new album is it isn't done. We got the mixes to a point where we could play them live, but like we're still working the kinks out. And well, there's not really kinks. These tracks sound really good. And so here is Chemical Plant Zone as a deep house track. It's a cool vibe. But one of these amazing things about this new software, Tractor, which I've been using forever, the new version has the ability to, it's called stems. You can drop out individual elements. So check this out. I can just turn the drums off. This shit is brand new. Like AI, I think AI is mostly stupid. Like they made computers that can automatically be dumb. I thought we already could do that on our own as human beings. But sure, you can have ChatGPT very confidently tell you the wrong thing. But we can do things like just the drums and bass. And so what I was doing in my set is I would play maybe Pete Frogs' Chemical Plant, and then take, because this album is kind of new and some sections aren't totally built out, I could take drums from one of Funk Fiction's finished tracks and just use Funk's drums over Pete's track. And we get this really cool fusion of these two songs. Drop the bass out. And so this is like back in the day we would have to filter, we'd have to do funky stuff, but being able to just sort of pick and choose what musical elements are coming out through the DJ set is something that was never possible before. So I was having a ton of fun on stage, sort of building these brand new versions of these songs that aren't even out yet. And I don't know, like, just like I really had a blast, and I've never been able to totally 100% hit the theme before. But check it out, like this next song, we have no drums in the intro. We hadn't like gotten there yet, but we can just like just the drum and bass from one song. And if you watch the VOD of my set when they post it up on YouTube, you'll hear this where like a piece of one song will go while the next one comes up, except for why are we not getting any signal over here? Oh, because everything's turned off like this. So check it out. Just this quiet intro, and then just the drum and bass from another one. We get this like really cool, like it doesn't exist, this like outside of the software and what I was doing live. So I really had a lot of fun, and I do recommend that you watch my set if you haven't, because this technology is new and my equipment that I brought with me to show off and then didn't plug in. Sorry, 10 in the morning, dad brain. I brought the brand new things from the DJ guys that let you control these new features, and guess what? I bet you guys can guess, it doesn't totally work. So there's definitely moments in my set where if you zoom in on my face, I'm like at my laptop. Like I felt it happening and I was like, I'm on stage, I should get my act together, but I'm just like, nah, this $250 knob isn't working. Like, good Lord, I'm a DJ, like all I am are knobs and buttons, and like one of these guys isn't working. But it was still like it was a real blast to be back at MAGFest and playing again, and then also to like totally hit the Sonic theme, and to open. Cybertronic Spree is such a great band, and also like the sweetest people I've ever met. I think they're from Canada, where people are nice. How do we get some of that here? Like, I hope those tariffs that are coming don't put a tariff on niceness. But yeah, so it was just a really great time, and then this album is something we're still working on, but we're hoping to have it out by the spring or the summer. And just like, look how cool this is. I'm just gonna say, hey, what if we just had the bass and drums? You're probably like, okay, Cutman, you said you were gonna do that and you did it. But this shit is like crazy! It used to sound like this, guys. It used to sound like, where's my filter? It's like, it used to, if you wanted to sound that, do this kind of thing, you had to filter it, so you can hear the melody, it's still there, and I play another track and it gets all like kind of crowded, but now it's just like super clean. I don't know, it was like a total thrill to like be able to work with this kind of technology, because now I can just be like, both tracks playing, and it like just sounds like one song. You can't tell I'm like smashing two things together like a just quiet little intro, but yeah, it was just like, I had such a great time. Just have the oh, you know what? We're not streaming this panel, right? We're not, because I can share with you guys something. Also, I can't believe they gave me 90 minutes. Thanks for sticking with me. But you know what we can do that I like really? All right, you're gonna see my desktop here for a second. Sorry, I have a whole pile of pictures of my wife because that's the wholesome vibes I'm on. Let's see, merch photos. There's like a whole, there it is. So I originally planned to do a total stream destroying set where I was gonna play all deep house remixes of classic prom songs. Yeah, and then so many people DM'd me and said, I can't wait to see your thing on stream. And I was like, oh yeah, this Britney Spears covers.
Baby, how was I supposed
this would have just been like MAGFest banned, like instantly. They're not the real original vocals, but I was gonna do a whole set of like party prom music. Like, just like listen to what these producers have done.
My loneliness is killing me. I must confess, I still believe.
And so I was gonna do, I have
with you, I lose my mind.
this.
Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time.
This is like bossa nova, Evanescence, just like, I was just gonna completely destroy that prom too, but then I was like, Sonic theme, forever getting MAGFest banned from Twitch, I'll just settle down. What else? This is, I emailed this guy, be like, can I have your stems? Let me play this one forever.
Wake me up inside. Wake me up inside. Call my name and save me from the dark. Bid my blood.
I'm so glad I can share these tracks with you guys. I was like so excited to do this, and then I decided. The second verse is a little bumpy, but
you have my heart, we'll never be worlds apart. Maybe in my disease.
So Rihanna,
still be
and just jump ahead of that.
under my umbrella. You can stand under my umbrella.
This would have hit that room so hard too. Maybe next year. Oh, I'm so glad I'm getting to share this stuff. I was like, I had a whole like hour of this stuff planned, and I decided to be a good boy and not destroy. Oh, and like the thing I was gonna do that was super sinister, and I didn't do it when I decided to opt out, is I was going to use the stem feature I showed you to drop out those cover song vocals and put the real singers over all of these remixes, which of course these are producers who are covering these songs in new styles, but I was going to get the real Rihanna voice. I was going to get the real Britney Spears and put it over these remixes. And that's when I was like, this is going to get someone in trouble and it's not going on my channel. So that's what I was decided, okay. But yeah, even like Sweet Child of Mine, and it's so cool. There's this, oh my god, there's so many bangers here. I should still do this set somewhere. I don't know where. That's just.
I like the way you work it. No diggity. I got to bag it up. I like the way you work it. No diggity. I got to bag it up. Bag it up. Yeah. I like the way you work it. No diggity. I got to bag it up. I like the way you work it. No diggity. I got to bag it up.
I wish I could have played this. That would have been so good. This was like, if I had done it, it would have been like one of those things where the thing comes on and then like the people with the big badges like show up like, the copyright claims are just rolling in. Cutman, you gotta do something. I might have slowed this one down. It would have been so dope. I'm so glad I got to DJ at the parenting panel. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you. I have 2 Deep House Never Gonna Give You Ups, too. That shows you how. I saw I was gonna really do the Rickroll, too. Maybe next year. I could have like did a YouTube private upload to see what got in trouble, but now I'm thinking about all the ways I could still do this.
We've known each other for so
let's hear the other one. Oh, this is happier. Yeah. Oh, it's like house here. Yeah, so all these like classic cheesy love songs. It's just, yeah, so.
Bring us back together, so good, baby.
I'm like getting nostalgic for the set I didn't play.
Bring us back together, baby.
Okay, I get it. It's loud. Cool. So yeah, thanks. I'm so glad I got to share that with you. I was like so excited about this, but then like the more I thought about it, the more I like wanted to like be a good DJ and also not overshadow the bands, because like playing 50 Deep House remixes of songs everybody knows before the band that's gonna only play Transformers music, I thought was like not totally the coolest thing to do as the opener. But yeah, it's good stuff. There's a playlist on Spotify called Chill Tracks, and a lot of these are from there, and then also house covers. So if you like this kind of stuff, you can search, and there's like one playlist that has like 400 tracks I just like rated. But yeah, good stuff. And then there's like, yeah, whatever. There's a couple of my originals on there. I have an original EP coming out pretty soon. Oh, there's a Toxic cover. Oh. And I want you to know, baby. Oh, that one didn't rip properly. Oh yeah, 14 seconds. That's the whole thing. And these are all like rips too. It also would have cost me like $120 to like buy all these songs on Beatport. So there's a lot of reasons, but yeah, I'm really excited. I was really excited, and I had a great time. Thanks everybody for coming to my panel. Sorry I didn't prepare 90 minutes of talking about being a dad. Does anybody have any like questions or anything related to anything that I could answer for you or tell you before we get going? You guys are the best. I'm gonna bust my balls. I love that. Vinyl's at Rock Island, signing at 2:30. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you.